Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion, plays the Binding of Isaac Afterbirth Plus. What did I hit? Hit tab to input a seed. I am a fool! Never mind. We rule. Is this a Polyon? Hold on. Do I have a Polyon unlocked? I'm looking at it now and I'm like, did I do every save file without unlocking a Polyon? Or has it just been so long since I've done the Apollyon stuff that I didn't realize? Anyway, we'll tackle that if we remember at the end of today's episode. It's a daily. It goes all the way. I'm ready. You know what I love about an all the way daily? Say it with me. 3, 2, 1. No delirium. Don't get delirium. It's true. There is no delirium. I think it's dark room. You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to. Send your body to the name. Dark room. Don't pick up the photograph that's light. Take the one that's dimmer. Want to find the mouse that is the right one. Okay. Take the item on the right would have been so much better. Anyway. Here we are. I don't know. I'm trying to set the stage for a daily, but what do you say when you pick up a Capricorn as your first item? You're pretty excited. I'll admit, kind of a tough choice, but, you know, here's the thing. If we had known that we would have turned Cube of Meat or Ball of Bandages into a Tears and Damage upgrade, it wouldn't have been a tough choice. That's literally, like, the 2 highest rolls that you can get. So, knowing that, hold on. Is there secret room potentiality, perhaps? Secret room potentiality, perhaps? This is a weird one. I don't really want to go to the shop for a bonus. I don't really want to open any of the sacks either, in my opinion. I'm trying to see if there's a way that we can get to an arcade. And, I mean, there is, but it's less likely, so I'm just going to save our bomb. These are the little, like, seeds that germinate throughout a run, and you never know. You know, they might turn into, you know, beautiful oak trees, or there might be the seeds of weeds like dandelion. But, you know, it's kind of a value judgment, isn't it? What makes something a weed? Don't sleep on this update. We want you to have the latest updates so Windows runs more securely. I could make a joke about how probably just gonna put more Candy Crush advertisements in my start menu, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be the bigger man, okay? Because I respect you, Microsoft, believe it or not. Visual Studio Code is a great editor. C#, great language. The strong-arm business practices of yesteryear appear to be by the wayside. Good lord, that was scary. So this run is superb so far. I'm very glad we saved the bomb, although we would have had another one by then anyway. What I was going to say is, who decides what's a weed and what's a plant, you know? A weed is a plant that, you know, it takes over your garden. But who says it's your garden in the first place, you know? That's Mother Nature's garden. That's a plot of land that you paid for, or, you know, the bank paid for, and you slowly pay them back over the course of, you know, a 20-year amortization period. Where am I going with this? I don't know. Basically, I was thinking about it today as I was parking. That's another close one, but I think I'm glad with the way the roll worked out. Eventually, we'd probably do on some items, and explosion immunity is kind of a good one, but so be it. I was thinking about it today. You know, most of the time, I'm like, you know, yeah, I'm okay with the status quo. And I know that that's a controversial thing to say. I'm not saying the status quo is ideal. I'm acknowledging that to some extent, the status quo works for me. Now, I campaign against the status quo at relevant intervals. But it has worked out all right for me so far. But then I went to a parking lot today because we had to pick up a parcel, also known in the rest of the world as a package, and it was $4 to park in the parking lot, and I said to myself, who owns the land? Is the land not owned by the birds and the bees? And the grasses and the And the flora and fauna? Or is it owned by you, West Park? A subsidiary of Impark Enterprises? Rise up. We live in a society. Hold on. Hit the snooze button on that one for now, Windows. So I took more damage than I would have liked to have taken there, but this run is popping off already. Where do I think I stand? I think I stand exactly... Well, first off, I stand with the gamers. But secondarily, I stand probably maybe a little bit above average. I think a lot of people probably would not void host hat. They don't have the same kind of testicular fortitude as your boy NL has. No offense meant. Or ovarian fortitude. It doesn't really matter to me. Whatever fortitude you choose. As long as you got it. But no fivitudes. Fortitudes only. We could really use Dark Bum. I mean, we've already, you know, without being braggadocious, we've won. Please don't hit me anymore. We would find it very difficult to lose today's daily with the stats that we got going on already. To rank well and have a little bit of peace of mind, something like Dark Bum would be mighty nice. But very, very, very few complaints. That's a secret room. That's not a secret room? And I... Loose play. Very loose play so far. It's one of those rare runs. Usually... I don't even want that. Usually... If there's anything that I pride myself on in Isaac, it's like short-term play. My long-term optics tend to be... Yo, it's damage and tears again. What a world. My long-term optics tend to be kind of subpar sometimes, like, for example, pop play. But, you know, my moment-to-moment dodging tends to be decent. This is, like, the exact opposite scenario. I'm not saying that my long-term decisions have been amazing, merely that they've worked out. You know, all these damage and tears upgrades are quite surprising. But my short-term dodging has been horrendous. I feel like, if I had to guess the secret room, I would say here, weirdly enough. Oh, I don't have any bombs, so never mind. We're only 6 minutes in. Oh my... I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say, oh my lord, and oh my word. And it almost came out like, oh my lord. And I was like, I don't know if I want to commit that to whatever media form this is being saved as, MP4. I don't want to waste the ones and zeros to encode it. Let me take a sip of the caffeine here. We had a bit of a weird start to today. It's very, well, it's not early. It's like noon. But it's my first video. I'll explain why. It's not that, you know, don't expect a, you know, blockbuster story here. We interfaced with the last bastion of the 20th century today, a furniture store. And I'm not talking about IKEA. IKEA is a very millennial store. Let me explain to you why. You go into, first off, it's cheap. You know, if you're not familiar with the IKEA brand, essentially, it's not bad furniture. Like, a lot of our apartment is furnished with IKEA, and I would recommend it. But, you know, you get a coffee table for like 20 bucks. No one's gonna come over and be like, oh my god, where'd you get this coffee table? Everybody's gonna be like, oh, that's the Rushpet. It's from IKEA. We got our kid the same one when they went away to university. And that's okay. Like, raise your hand right now if you have a knot lamp from IKEA. I swear it's the most ubiquitous piece of furniture in existence. We have a knot lamp now. When I moved to Vancouver, Kate had a knot lamp in her apartment. It's just like, it's non-stop knot lamps everywhere. So, this is a tough choice. Because we don't want to suck up either of these items. We have golden bombs. So I don't think we want either of them, to be honest. Although, we could probably get away with picking up Guppy's paw, not sucking it up. I'm happy we got a fire rate up there. But we'll need more HP at some point. Anyway, IKEA is fine, is the thing. You know, our bed, dining room table, dining room chairs, coffee table is from IKEA. Our couch is one step down from IKEA. We got it out of the back of a truck on Craigslist. A dude came by in his Ford Ranger, And we handed him, like, three $20 bills. And then he put the couch on the sidewalk, and we went, heck yeah, brother. But it's a millennial store, IKEA is. And I mean this in a good way. Because you walk in, and you never have to ask, hey, do you have this in stock? Every IKEA is built on top of a warehouse. You just go down there, grab it yourself. You know, they've got 4,500 knot lamps in there. And then you even go through the self-checkout at the end, you know? It's a very 21st century store. We went to, I don't know if I would describe it as a boutique furniture store, but, you know, I talked about it earlier this year. Your boy's balling out with his Herman Miller Aeron chair because he doesn't want his spine to explode from sitting down 14 hours a day when he's in his 30s. And, you know, the time had come for us to graduate from gamer chairs, to be honest, you know? They had their time in the sun where you weren't really, you know, a real streamer unless you had that DX Racer behind you. And my DX Racer was fine. You know, it was completely okay, but the time had come. Especially because it was kind of destroyed. But that's not the chair's fault. Like, honestly, I've learned from, you know, living with somebody else. I'm a heavy user when it comes to basically anything. I wear things out in, like, no time flat. Hey, that's my way of saying I don't take good care of things when I should. But, like, Kate's DX Racer, we got it probably, like, a month and a half after mine. Hers is, like, brand new. Well, it's lightly used, let's say. And it sounds like a euphemism. It wasn't intended as such. Mine was, like, derelict. Like, it looks like I got mine out of a dumpster. I don't know what it is. Just she's a more delicate individual. Now this is a real question. Do you think this would even give us a tiers upgrade? I think it will. Never mind. Should have sucked it up. I thought that analog stick broke the tier cap, but you know what? You learn something new every day. Now, the furniture store we went to, you know, the one we went to buy this chair, the one that I'm sitting on right now, pretty much the exact same situation. We went in and we're like, hey, do you have the Herman Miller M body? And they're like, no, but we can order one. And then we're like, oh, how long will that take? And they said 8 to 12 weeks. This is what delineates a millennial store from a store from Generation X. Generation X was okay with waiting because they didn't know any better. And I grew up not straddling the line necessarily, but, you know, I'm slightly on the older side of millennials. I remember, you know, I spent 49 cents. I bought Ghastly, the Pokemon, in card form on eBay. 49 cents. How long did it take for the Ghastly to arrive? 6 weeks. And everybody, when it arrived, we went, holy crap, it's actually here. It's not a scam. You know, it was like a revolution. Now, you know, I'm willing to wait for a product that's already out. I'm willing to wait like a week tops. And this is not entitledness. It's just, or entitlement, I guess. It's just the way that the world works now. You know, it's not about having like ADHD, low attention span, etc., etc. Is that, you know, if you can't provide your product in, you know, a time that your competitors can, I'm more likely to go there. So we went to the furniture store today. We're like, do you have any Herman Miller M bodies in stock? And they said, no, unfortunately, we have to order it from Herman Miller. And if we do that, it'll take 8 to 12 weeks. And you just, I mean, obviously we want this, but you just look at them and you think to yourself, how does this store exist? You know, it's 2018. I can order it from Herman Miller. If it takes 8 to 12 weeks, it probably takes, you know, 6 to 10 weeks if I order it myself. What do I need you for? I'm gonna pay you like $100 just to make the phone call? Well, when you put it that way. My phone anxiety is well documented. Either way, though. So then we went, hey, you got any Aerons in stock? And they were like, Aerons? And I said, no, the chair. And they said, oh, do you watch the... And I said, yeah, I know the show. And then, but really, we were kind of all business. Very polite, though. And they were like, yeah, we got a couple in stock. So we bought it there. But it's... you know, we bought one for Kate. Did I ever introduce that part of it? That we're getting the chair for my wife? Anyway. I don't think I care about PhD. I don't think I care about any of those. Blue candle, yeah, almost got me. I don't think it's worth sucking up, though. Battery, I mean, it probably actually is worth it, but on dailies, I'm a little bit riskier, or a little bit more conservative I should say, about the way that I spend. I don't really care about getting moving box sucked up. I don't want any of that, really. But anyway, it's, that was what it was like back then, is, you know, you'd order something. I remember many times, right? And, you know, it's a weird day because today might be the last day of the Sears Corporation. You know, they're in liquidation and apparently have no buyers, according to the very well-sourced tweet I read. Oh, you haven't heard of literature, sweetheart? I live my life 140 characters at a time. Sorry, just brainstorming merch for 2019. You know, I think we can afford that. And, you know, your parents would be like, be at Sears, and then a man in a button-up shirt would be like, Slap's roof of refrigerator, this baby can hold so many different types of foods. And they'd be like, all right, I'll take it. And they'd be like, all right, that's, you know, $1,100. And it'll be here in 2 months, and we'll deliver it to your house. You would buy something, and you would wait for it. It's like there was a little, like a fridge Santa Claus who was having his fridge elves build it. Over in Maytag, North Pole. Probably we're getting to the point where we should just snag some of these items. But now, I don't want to... And it's, again... You always, we were talking about this on the NLSS this week, but anytime something's more convenient, and this is Robert who said this, and I'm stealing it wholesale because I agree with it. Anytime something's more convenient, you always have to deal with this weird, like, I wouldn't even necessarily describe it as like a gaslight. You deal with this weird criticism that, like, well, back in my day, we did things the hard way and we liked it. Okay, congrats. You know, the standards have changed. You know, back in the day, if you wanted to get from Boston to California, you had to take a covered wagon. Shouldn't have stood there. In the modern era, you don't have to do that. And if you got on an airplane and somebody said to you, you know, well, you know, oh, you're flying? Oh, must be nice. I'm gonna, you know, ride my bicycle, or, you know, my horse is gonna carry me across the country. See you in 9 months. You'd be like, all right, you're the weirdo in this situation. But for some reason, you know, if you're ever like, you know, 3 months is unacceptable to wait for an office chair, not many people, to be fair, but some people come out of the woodwork and are like, oh, it's the me generation. First off, the me generation is the 70s, my dude. But secondarily, back in my day, we ordered our chairs from a catalog. It was much worse, but we didn't complain because we didn't know any better. We sent our order form in the mail and never ever knew if the order was actually received until 3 months later. A big box with a chair would arrive, or nothing would arrive, and then you would have to call them and they would say, we didn't get your order, and then it's 6 months. So I'm going to avoid the Christ out of this item. This is the first top-tier spacebar item we've had access to. You know, I'm not going to say, you know, I'm not a rhetorician. All I'm going to say is I think there's, like, a new logical fallacy. And the new logical fallacy is if something is more convenient, it must be somehow less noble. Now, there are some things that are more convenient that are less noble. Let me give you a great example. It's way more convenient to never recycle and just throw all your stuff in the garbage. Well, we don't really want that. We should probably just do this, huh? I think it's worth it because we are going to go to the blue womb. Tarot cloth is so unbelievably great. We're just going to quickly go back to our curse room because we could become Guppy, which would just throw this whole run into overdrive. Recycling is not very labor or time intensive on an end user standpoint, you know, at least here. Ooh. Yes. Don't mind if I do. Let's use a bomb. I'm a little nervous about our HP. Not much. Just a little. extremely good pickup, though. Hopefully, now we want to see no deal with the devil. Because if there's no deal with the devil, you're only going to get brimstone and thus be on this level if you manage to go to the cursed room, which a lot of people might not do, depending on the time which they made it down here, and etc. and etc. Anyway, recycling, not that labor intensive, not that time intensive, obviously, but simultaneously it does take time. It's much easier to just throw a plastic bottle in the garbage can than to, open up the drawer under the sink and then toss it in there. And then later, you gotta sort it out, maybe in your garbage room, or you gotta put it in a different bin and take it out to the end of the walkway. You get the idea. But that's way less noble. I think if you tell somebody, at least you would be shamed here for sure. And I think rightfully so. Even though, really you're gonna... It's one of the classic things that sometimes kind of annoys me about the internet. It always comes up when it comes to, like, hand washing. People won't take the 30 seconds required to wash their hands. Instead of doing that, they would rather get into a 25-minute long debate once a month about how, like, well, actually, the sink has more germs than historically the stuff that you touch would have in the first place. By using soap, aren't we contributing to the rise of an influenza super bug that's gonna, eventually destroy 1/3 of the world's population? They don't know. They're just like, I'm not gonna wash my hands. It's gonna take 10 seconds. I've never heard an epidemiologist be like, oh yeah, don't wash your hands. I'm worried about the superbug. Maybe don't, take antibiotics if you have a viral infection. That's very sound advice. Never heard a doctor be like, yeah, you should wash your hands less. Also, like, get less sleep, like, just so you're used to it, Your body will adjust to getting less sleep, so, it'll save you a lot of time in the whole scheme of things. Eat less vegetables. You don't want your body to get used to the vitamins and minerals in the fruits and vegetables. You want to make your body work for it so that it gets stronger. Anyway, where was I going with this? It is less noble. I don't care if corporations are responsible for 98% of human-derived climate change, okay? You should still recycle. But the idea that, like, somehow getting your groceries delivered is less noble than making the sacrifice to go to the grocery store yourself. And I say this as somebody who went to go to the grocery store myself every time. By the way, I figured out how to solve the rise of autonomy, okay? People are all worried about automation. Not autonomy, I should say. The rise of autonomy is a very different problem to be worried about solving. It's a problem that I'm glad exists. Either way. Where was I going with this again? So here's the thing. Everyone's worried. Self-driving cars. Kiosks at McDonald's. Self-checkout at grocery stores, etc., etc. I figured out. I was at the grocery store last night. I was using self-checkout, and I figured out how you have the perfect world of some autonomous kiosks and still having the requirement to have some human labor. So that, not 20% of the workforce is wiped out. And the way you do it is just make the machines really, really, really bad. I was checking out last night. I put my cloth bag in the bagging area. It said unexpected item in bagging area. I said, it's a cloth bag. There's a button for it. And then it said, how many cloth bags? And then it said, I said, one cloth bag. And it went, please wait for assistance. I don't know. I guess they were worried that I'm a scumbag and I accidentally put 2 cloth bags down on the scale and then lied about it and said I only put 1 down on the scale. A conspiracy that I can only imagine having profits of 10 cents because it costs you 10 cents per plastic bag. Literally, I don't understand. I could just... This is what bothers me about this, because it happened like 3 more times throughout. I scanned some cheese. I put the cheese in my cart, and it goes, unexpected item in bagging area. Please wait for assistance. You know what? I could just steal the food. If I'm not I don't understand what you're protecting here. It's like security theater. If I wanted to, I could just put the cheese in my cart and then walk out. What am I'm gonna scan something and I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, this is Dubliner, 8-year aged cheddar. And then in my cart, I'm gonna throw like a whole ham or something? I don't understand what the fraud is here. It doesn't make any sense. So the machines, at least at this grocery store, I've previously been of the opinion that self-checkouts are getting better, broadly. I'm still of that opinion, but at this grocery store, they suck. So guess what? Next time I go to that grocery store, I'm using the cashier. Because if it takes me longer to use the self-checkout, because it's going to be gated by, a human being either way, and the thing that bothers me is that the human that comes by, they're on the level. I don't know. That might help us now, though. Is 14 the tier cap for Brimstone? I'm actually unsure. I feel like it's not even worth sucking up. I think I'd rather just suck this up and see where we go. They're not like, hey, it says you scanned cheese, and where's the cheese in the bag? And I'd be like, right here. I'd still be mad about it, but at least I'd be like, they're sticking to their principles. Instead, they just come by and they scan their ID and go ahead. It's just... And I don't want to make this a programming thing, but it's just, the conflict between the end user of a piece of software and the consumers and also the software developers. I'm sure at some point, it's probably not a bespoke system to begin with, I'm assuming. Some kind of Salesforce flexible solution for customer relations management. I got no idea. Let's be honest, I don't work in the industry. I just make Jeopardy apps. Release them on GitHub out of the goodness of my heart. But either way, yo, there we go. This is unbelievably strong now. We will definitely go for full exploration bonus. We got the time. Either way, I'm sure that at some point the software developers are like, you really want to require manual oversight if the expected weight and the received weight are like more than 20% out of whack. And like the CEO of the grocery store, what's the word I'm looking for here? Cartel was like, yeah, we don't want people stealing stuff from our stores. I guarantee somebody in one of those meetings was like, well, they could just walk out with it. So what'd you say? Oh, I said, all right, sir, we'll have that for you in 3 months. That's right. I'm Galen Weston. I'm Galen Weston. As a Canadian grocery store joke. It's a little insular. We should drop left hand immediately. Anyway. So there's my solution. So, you're worried about, 8% of North Americans are involved in transportation. They work as truck drivers or, package deliverers, etc., etc. Probably even more now with the gig economy, DoorDash, Uber, etc., etc. What's going to happen to them when self-driving cars come out? Very simple. Just make the self-driving cars bad. Make them so bad that people will go out of their way for the human element. Just out of not only safety, but convenience, I think that's how you solve it. Then, idiots like me will be like, I'll take one self-driving car, please. Yeah, there's a 30% chance it just stops driving or drives in the wrong direction, or I don't know, I have to apply to change the radio station and they submitted a support ticket with the wrong address or something. Who knows? Yo, let's actually go. And the people who are sensible will be like, you know what? I'm just going to use the human situation. By the way, inevitably, I'm going to get a couple of tweets. You'd be surprised. You really would. And I'm not saying these are tweets with, that are coming out in bad faith. But they are tweets that don't necessarily realize that it's a joke. And they're going to be like, how would a bad self-driving car solve anything if people were getting into crashes all the time? That seems very unsafe. You got me. The joke is not 100% coherent. The joke that I came up with off the top of the dome piece. When it is subjected to even the most basic form of intellectual rigor, it doesn't hold water. I'm sorry about that. You know, I'm doing my darndest. Yo, that's also extremely... You couldn't ask for a better run than this, basically. Within reason. No, thank you. Well, we will definitely go fight Hush. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to pause for a moment as well. I've received a text message, which should be my parents telling me they've landed in the wonderful city of Vancouver. Hold on. In your town. Mommy, 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 and dad, and... Okay. Yay! I don't sound natural putting a yay in a text message. Nice. Let me know when you're settled. There you go. That's the other thing that's... dude, I don't know. What do we want to do here? Vibrant Bulb... Oh, we definitely want the cancer trinket. Vibrant Bulb is a nice trinket, but only gives us, you know, a very modest amount of damage. It's closer than you'd think, because Tiny Planet is a tiers upgrade. I actually think we might be able to make Tiny Planet work here. It's not a tiers upgrade because of the... We're at the tier cap, which is good to know. But this will get sucked up easy. And then... Kind of the best of both worlds here. I actually... Hold on. Do we have a charge? We don't. Let's see what this is. Ace of Diamonds. Basically irrelevant. I think we'd rather smelt again than have a charge. On Void. Hold on. I have more text messages arriving. I like to reply to my Terrence... my Terrence texts. I like to reply to my parents' texts when they land. Because if you've flown, you understand that right after you land, you know, you've been sitting in a tin cylinder for like, I don't know. I mean, 4.5 hours on one flight, but this is their second flight of the day. They go, hey, you can now use your mobile phone, but you can't do anything else until you taxi to the gate, which sometimes can take like 15 minutes, you know? So I like to reply to their texts just to give them, first off, because it's polite, but also to give them something to do, you know? Because I do the same thing. My mom's always like, let me know when you land. And then I land. And, you know, if she replies to my text and she's like, love you. I'm like, oh, that's all I get is a love you? I'm starved for entertainment here. Come on, I'm trapped in this tin cylinder. They're probably not made of tin, now that I think about it. It would get mighty cold, I think. That's a conductive metal. Anyway, this daily is dynamite. We are going to the dark room. That's completely okay. And we should go for full exploration bonus. Like, I don't think we're going to be drastically... Well, certainly we're not going to be drastically worse than the average today. That's unfathomable. I also don't think we're going to be that far ahead of anybody. Let's see if we're safe here. Not safe. I think we're just going to be... We're going to be nestled in good company, you know? We got a little bit lucky. We took some chances with our Void. Oh my god, thank you, Brain. You're not always there for me, but that time you were. You know, we took some chances with our Void rerolls, and almost all of them worked out. And moreover, they worked out early, which is even more valuable than... Well, just a little cherry on top, because, you know, I always use, like, the equation of a line. I think it's an okay metaphor. Plus, I'm a big nerd. I love watching nerdy TV shows like The Big Bang Theory. Brazier. Anyway, that was Yoshi watching The Big Bang Theory. We're safe. There's an endless stream of flies ruining this guy's life. But I think it is a good metaphor, to be honest with you. And what do I mean by that? Well, you know, the B value, you know, the Y-intercept, That's where your run starts. If you're an Eden run and you start with Brimstone, you got a high value for your Y-intercept, but that doesn't mean you're gonna... I mean, you could actually get worse as the run goes along. It happens from time to time. But maybe you start with a crappy run, but then your first deal with the devil is Mom's Knife. The Y value on that is off the charts. Or sorry, the M value. Oh, you guys don't do Y equals the slope of the line? Sorry, I thought I was dealing with some scholars here, but apparently. We might as well suck it up, honestly. Like, sure, we do get value out of 9 lives, but we're unlikely to actually get any yield out of it. And I think in terms of, like, the... Terrible bomb placement. In terms of the, like, miscellaneous elements of this run, I think we're in good company, you know? Like, we've taken damage, yes, but we've explored almost all of every floor, with the exception of some secret rooms early for sure, and late for that matter. We had no problems fighting Hush. We had no problems fighting Boss Rush, which is to be expected. I'm trying to dance around the fact, like, do I see us getting top 100 today? No, I don't, and it's because, you know, I've been peeping Corey's dailies on occasion, and I think Corey is a good barometer, and don't take this the wrong way, Corey. Someone's gonna narc on me in his chat, guaranteed. We got a lot of overlapping fandoms, but, and it's good. It means I have to, you know, keep my most basest, impulses at bay, because I can't just be like, screw this guy. But Corey is like a good barometer for a sweaty, try-hard Isaac daily player. And sweaty kind of has, you know, a little bit of a value judgment associated with it. And I'm glad, because I don't want him to get away scot-free. Why is it sweaty? Because it's fishing for cursed dice, blank card. Any way to get the D20 and then, you know, spend 45 minutes re-rolling to get maximum consumable bonus. Basically, this is going to sound petty. I don't necessarily mean it like that. But basically spending a third of each daily not actually playing Isaac, but instead just working with the systems of the game to try to get maximum consumables. You're getting keys, not to open doors, but because the keys give you points. And that's fine. Again, it's the way the dailies are basically incentivized to be played in order to maximize your leaderboard position. I'm not salty about that aspect whatsoever. And usually, even on dailies where I'm like, I played well, Corey by this point oftentimes has like as much as a 10,000 point differential on me. Simply because of the fact that, you know, if you're looking for these seams, they're not always hard to find. Now, I'm not sweaty. I'm like a clammy daily player. Because as much as, you know, you might think that I have no self-awareness. The actual truth of the matter is I have too much self-awareness. So there's a little bit of, like a hint of irony at least that's coming through there. Because I'm doing some sweaty Isaac stuff as well, you know? We've won the run easily. I shouldn't be picking up items at this point, actually. That takes away... That's like a sweatband. The metaphor is kind of falling apart, but... we have an Emperor card. We could be done with this run in 45 seconds. Why aren't we? Because we're going to get the maximum exploration bonus that's possible and easy for us to get. So yeah, I know. I got a... My forehead is glistening with a little bit of perspiration. But I'm not like in a hyperhidrosis sort of atmosphere. That's all I'm saying. It's like the only stat that isn't at its cap right now is shot speed. So we keep getting shot speed bonuses. My favorite Our Lady Peace song. Shot speed bonus! That's Starscream? I know that that's also a Decepticon. Because I watched a lot of Beast Wars as a kid. I still, by the way, I don't know if the episode's gone up yet, but I have not gotten a good answer for, like, is it nobility? Is it like they don't want to make things too hard on the Autobot, or on the Decepticons? So the Autobots choose to transform into, like, you know, Jeep Wranglers instead of, you know, anything that would shoot a Tomahawk missile? Well, I guess we'll be opening that and then picking it up for no reason. I'm loving the shot out of Fate's Reward. It's never gonna hit, but when it hits, oh boy. Alright, let's finish this off. Very, very good run. Very, very fun run. And our rank is irrelevant. 50th? Dude, I can live with that. That's pretty good. For now, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. It helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya!